What's up everyone? Today's video, in this vlog if you will, it's going to be a lot different than a lot of the other videos that I've made overall, just because a lot of the other videos that I've made, they actually don't show kind of like the daily vlog as to like the daily activities as to what I'm doing and my daily lifestyle, if you will. So in this video, I actually wanted to do this to show all of you of exactly what it is that I do in my everyday life overall, at least for work, because I never really get to showcase that. I always get to showcase, obviously, the podcast episodes and let's say just different videos in general. And I really wanted to bring out a video that was going to showcase what it is that I do for business, etc., for work, how I make money, stuff like that. So in today's video is going to really showcase me being on the phone all day and really what I'm doing in here. So obviously this first part that you're reviewing is my workout. And this is something that if you guys have visited the channel before, this is something that you already know of. This isn't something that is brand new to you at all. So once again, I'm just really happy that I did something like this. So there is going to be a continuation of this video as well. So, because this one is obviously about damn near 40 minutes. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to showcase all this to you guys, because there's going to be something else that I have coming out anyways, which I'm really excited to have come out, because it is actually filled with a lot of teaching techniques. So that's basically how that is. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and if you like this video, please like it, thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I could really use it. The support really would go a long way, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy. All right, what's up, everyone? Well, whatever. So, oh man. So I've been trying to be a little better about doing these daily vlogs. So far, what y'all have caught is the last 2 days of my training sessions. Obviously, 2 days ago was whatever. It was very short, very, very, very short. Something just to get a little pump going. And then yesterday, well, you guys came in whenever, like after I got like a warm up going and stuff. So, and I tend to not use, like, I tend not to record a lot of my training, because like, I don't know if if this happens to y'all whenever you try to, multitask, especially with recording yourself, it gets very difficult to be able to actually focus, because you're worried about this, you're worried about that, you're worried about blah, 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 blah. And for me personally, it's very difficult. Like, I know a lot of people out there are able to film themselves and everything, but for me, I tend to, for some reason, get into my head a little bit more whenever I'm working out, and like whenever I have a record session going on. So I don't feel like it allows for me I don't feel like it allows for me to do the best that I could do if I wasn't being recorded, or if I was let's say, even if I was being recorded, then if I'm not in control of it, then I'm so much better about it. I'm so much better to do it that way than not. So that's why y'all don't get a whole bunch of my recording sessions. However, so I have like right now it's about 9:57 a.m. Sunday morning, and what I've been doing is working on my business this entire year basically. And what it is that I do fixed index annuities. That's what I specialize in now. And this year has been really me finding out like which part of the life insurance industry is the best for me personally. And you know, if you're going into it, I feel like anybody should be that way in regards to understanding like if you're going into a brand new industry, what it is that you're going to do for yourself as well. So basically, you know, because every industry is completely different, and you know, the life insurance industry, there's several sides to it. So you just have to figure out which is the best that fits for you. And for me, you know, I've been dealing with high net worth individuals for, my God, since the end of, oh my Lord, since the end of, or towards the end of, or I guess really since the later part of 2016. And, you know, that's basically what I know exactly how to deal with. So for me, in regards to all of this, you know, going into fixed index annuities, talking with these guys in regards to this specific insurance product is the best fit for me. Going ahead and getting work done here. And so this is what I'm looking at right now is the content for the site. So I've been needing to get content, finally hired a writer and gave her some information and taking it from there. So we'll see how this is. What's up, everyone? So I've been very, very busy the last few days, and I've not been able to do any type of vlogging or anything like that, which is what I have wanted to do, to be able to show all of you, you know, what I'm going through on a daily basis. I am trying to be a little bit better, or actually a lot better about that. But this is not right now. It's about 11:17 Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday, November 17. So I've already been up since what, 8, I think like 8 a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. this morning, and was just making phone calls left and right to go ahead and have my follow-up calls. Now, for those of you that are in sales that think that you don't have to follow up, think again. Not following up with your clients is literally 90% of the work that you have to do. 10% of that work is you cold calling people and seeing what's going to happen. You never know unless you try, and that's the absolute truth. You know, people that I've worked with in the past don't like to do the follow-ups. And that's literally the one thing that will give you success. You call the person, you let them know what you're talking about, you let them know what your deal is, and you ask them if they're interested. Very easy. But another side of it is that I've been very busy the last few days coordinating with my team. And my team is spread all across North America, right? So I'm based out of California, and then some of my people are in Canada, some of my people are here in the States, and some of my people are actually over in Europe as well. So, I'm having to go over all of these different avenues to get the dots connected, work in different time zones. So, and then like last time, the last video, I remember it actually cut off, the camera that is cut off because there was no more battery life. So that's kind of how that is. I've been trying to be better about eating because that's like one of my number one things that I don't do during my day is I don't eat really. So that's why I have some Pop-Tarts right here, because this is honestly one of the best things that you can have that's real quick, real easy. It's like a protein shake, so it's actually not too bad. Got my sweet tea right here. So I love sweet tea. And then got my Bang as well for my energy. I personally like it a lot. It keeps me going, especially. I have tried pre-workouts. I used to use NitroFlex, and NitroFlex was good, and it was really good. But then I got introduced to my buddy Sean Standridge, his company, which is called Wicked Naturals. For any of you that don't know about Wicked Naturals, there'll be a link right here that will give you the information about his company. So yeah, for me, I haven't been using any type of pre-workout. If you want to consider pre-workout, I guess this would be my pre-workout that I've been using, but I usually use that for my daily motivation, like to keep myself going so I don't get any crash, I don't get tired, I don't do anything like that. So it's good. It's really, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with all of this. And yeah, well, also one thing is that I wanted to explain with all of you. So this year, I've actually been working on building out my business, right? And it's in a brand new industry, as some of you may understand that already. For the ones that don't know what my industry is, and that if you're new to the channel, my name is Damian. I actually am in the financial services industry, more precisely the life insurance industry. But it's an advanced financial service. So my business offers life insurance. That's going to be your final expense / burial, your term, your whole life, your IULs, all that stuff that I have. Also, with the life insurance side, I work with over 30 different companies, literally to be able to offer my clients the best prices that they can ever imagine. And then there's the annuities side. So I only offer fixed annuities as well as fixed index annuities, and there's an absolute reason for that. There are guarantees that are put in place for that, that the account holder cannot lose any money. So people that don't like how the elections have gone, great. This is going to be one of those things that you can still participate in the market, have no downside risk, and that is a guarantee. And that's not from me. That's actually from the insurance companies that I work with. And then there's no fees. So I think I already said that. It's tax deferred growth. So for those of you who do not know what that means, your account gets to make money, and you do not pay like a K1 or a 1099 or anything like that. You don't pay taxes on that annually. You only pay taxes whenever you take money away from the account. So that's actually how it goes. So our clients love it because there's guarantees that they cannot lose money, there's no fees, and it's tax deferred, and they still get to play with the market with no downside risk. Who wouldn't like that? So kind of how that goes. So today I'm basically just going to go ahead and do some calls. This is going to be kind of like a time-lapse deal that happens, and
yeah, feel free to watch me hustle and grind, and like I said, it will be a time lapse video. So yeah, so enjoy. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. My SD card actually filled up, so you didn't miss much. I just ended a phone call, and now I'm moving on to more. So, just now, I've already hired a writer, a content writer, and just to let you guys know, she is doing she's going to be doing 1,000 word article for 3 cents a word. So that means 1,000 word article will only cost me $30. That's really, really good. Versus there's other that try to charge like $150 or even $120 for 1,000 word article. So definitely keep in mind about this stuff for yourselves. So yeah, this is basically like my day in the life vlog of this. Is the first time I've done this, so basically the way it goes. So yeah, not too bad though, not too bad at all.
All right, y'all. So as I stated at the beginning of this video, I was going to teach you guys something that is never taught really. You can't really go anywhere to teach this either, which is phone sales. Now, yes, it is a form of sales, but it's done a different way, in a much different way than you probably ever would have imagined. So what I've done here is I've been making phone calls to individual accredited investors. These individual accredited investors are usually always open to hearing different investment ventures that they can actually put their liquid money into. Now, liquid money, it means that it's disposable income that they have set to go whenever they get a phone call, if it seems like something that they would like to do, which is going to be upon the delivery, which is always, always, always up to you, the phone sales individual. Now, whenever I call out to someone, I specifically, I start out, this is me, I start out with, is, let's say, is Devin available? And then they'll say yes or no or whatever the case may be. From there, then you'll go ahead and introduce yourself and state which company you're with. And let's say if you are trying to get the marbles out of your mouth, if you will, as in this industry, that's what we call it whenever you're just calling your first 15 individuals on your first project and you don't know much about what you're trying to say, but you're trying to gather a good pitch. That's what you're going to do. Your first 20 people overall are really going to be probably the worst phone calls that you'll have, which that's good though, because you want to be able to just dive into things. And that's the only way that you can learn in this industry is whenever you do go ahead and immerse yourself, into this game. So you'll probably have people telling you, go fuck yourself, or I'm not fucking interested, or that it's not that much of a home run for me. And these are going to be based more so upon like what you're yielding, what they will be yielding, that is. So if your yields are terrible, then expect for them to say no. And if, let's say, if you are selling air, which in that case, that's going to be more so of you selling something, an idea that has not come to fruition yet, which is a project. A project is an idea that has literally not come to fruition yet. It's just an idea that's out there that you expect to have happen, which you can sell that, absolutely, as long as the returns look really lucrative. Believe it or not, for those of you who do not know much about this space, that does work for some investors that want to have a loss on their investments, because at the end of the year, they can actually write those investments off completely as a total loss. So that's why, if any of you know about the oil game, that's why a lot of people would have done the oil game and still do invest into the oil industry, because there's more companies out there that will say and do whatever, but they will never really deliver, which that is actually good for the investor at that point, because then they have, let's say, $200,000 that they're trying to maybe write off for tax purposes, but now they can legitimately bring that money into a situation like this and actually have a loss from the investment because the investment never paid them off. So that's something for you guys to kind of understand here. So hopefully in this video, like I said, you're going to learn a lot of things about phone sales and how to really speak with people over the phone, especially with people, let's say, whom have about a $40 million net worth.
All right, everyone. So right now I have 3 content writers, and then I've also got a designer, a web designer that is, and a head of IT. And now what just happened today is looking at a new business venture. So stuff like this actually happens on the daily, as in, you know, I'm always getting stuff done, getting business done. This is actually kind of cool, because these are things that I've talked about on the podcast, but you never really get to see it. You never really get to see what's going on. Now, after this time lapse, I think it's going to be really cool for you, for the viewers, that is, for all of y'all, to be able to see exactly, you know, what it is, how it is that I go about getting all this stuff done, you know, kind of take it on from there. Been recording for about 3 hours now, and, you know, I've gotten a lot of work done in 3 hours, so, but we're still going, so let's go ahead and keep it moving.
All right, so now we get back to it. So, in this part, I'm actually calling out to, I kind of changed my approach here, and I actually started cold calling some individuals from lead lists that I've got to just call them out of the blue as a courtesy call to see if they have any type of retirement plans set up, let's say for a fixed index annuity or a fixed annuity or even life insurance. You'd be surprised of just how many people that you can call that will say that they are either that they are taken care of on life insurance, or they don't have any life insurance, or they don't even know what a fixed index annuity is, which for a fixed index annuity, it's one of the most protected retirement plans one could ever ask for. Now, because in this day and age where we're at, that we are going in more into the crypto side of things, a lot of investors still want something that's never going to lose, that they will never lose. And that's going to be more so of your conservative investors. Now, I got into the insurance industry, the life insurance industry, that is, because I sincerely wanted to be able to help people secure their futures and the future uncertainties of their life. And that's literally just how it goes. And what I found out was last year in 2020, when I started out in this industry, I was with two different companies. And one was Mass Mutual, the other one was National Life. What I found out going through my journey in this industry was the fact that these guys that are your so-called managers, quote unquote, or your higher ups, quote unquote, they are directing you, micromanaging you to do things that they will not do themselves. I remember last year I was confronted by one of them from Mass Mutual, and the guy told me that whenever I had asked him how many calls he makes, he says none. He pulls in about 8 deals a month, and that's it. For me, I'm sitting here trying to pull in 8 deals a week. So for me, I'm going out there, I'm making the calls, and I'm not having someone else over me at this point because I'm a broker now. But whenever I was a captive agent with Mass Mutual and or National Life, I was under their jurisdiction. If I wrote anything, they would have kept it by the time I left. And the higher up guy gets an override of X amount of percentage of whatever you bring in, whenever he's literally just lollygagging, jerking himself off, whatever the hell he's doing. You know, he's not doing any type of work that you're doing, which for me, I have a big issue with that. But for my business, I've turned this whole model around to where I actually give my guys free leads. So that's literally how that goes.
So, to give you guys a little bit of a deal here, um, so because this is business over the phone, right? It is absolutely imperative that you make sure that you are one, extremely clear on the message that you're saying, and that you don't stop your momentum. So those are basically your top two objectives here that you want to make sure that you're doing. Whenever you call people in general, again, you do not want to sound like you are that you are you don't want to sound like a robot, or like it sounds like you're reading from some type of script. You want to make it sound in your own language, but make it as professional as possible. Because especially dealing with the clientele that I deal with, literally these guys are very quick-witted. They're very, very quick, and if you are stumbling at all, then they're not going to really want to do business with you in general. So that's kind of how that goes. A little rule of thumb about that. But my business is done over the phone 100%. I guess at least actually it's like 98 or 99% of the time, because there's only that like 1% of the time that I will meet people in person. Sometimes I will go ahead and fly to my client. Other times I will meet them in person, just here in California, for example. But just so all of you know, if you're in the insurance space, people don't like insurance people, and especially ones that don't know anything about how to sell, how to treat people, stuff like that. You want to be professional. So if you are not going to be professional, then don't expect to make any sales. But also, it's about what you build, and keep in mind what you build. When I first got into this industry, nobody, and not one person, wanted to try to take me under their wing. Everybody wanted to make like they knew everything, all this stuff. And what I found out was that nobody that was guiding me, none of them did any type of sales. They maybe pulled in maybe 5 deals a month, but that's about it. That's shitty. And that is absolutely shitty. So if you're one of those guys that you think that whoever is your manager or whatever, you're doing more work than they're going to do. That's absolutely all day long, because they're the ones getting an override on your work. And I personally don't agree with all of that. If they were doing as much work as you are and they're helping you, then absolutely give them their override, because they're actually helping you. But a lot of these guys, they don't help at all. So that's kind of how that goes. But yeah, this has been going on for about 4 hours now, that you've been able to see how, like, me in my action, like in my bubble, if you will. So this is the first time I've done something like this, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the fact that you guys can see what I do, so it's not just me talking on Instagram and saying to you guys, oh, this is what I do. Come on now. So at least you're actually being able to see it. And a lot of you, like, I actually talk on the podcast and on my Instagram about this a lot too, is that the phones, I've got 2 phones here. Really, 2 phones. Actually, if you want to call 3 phones. And the fact is that one of them is my business line and the other one is my cell phone, my personal cell phone. Not a lot of people have my personal cell phone, but the very select few that do, they appreciate it, definitely, because those are my friends. For my clients, they all have my business line, so I keep both of those absolutely separate. But you have to be able to do things like this and make that jump. There's a cost of doing business, but these phones are absolute essentials when you're doing business. I always preach about, people are trying to get selfies all day long rather than going ahead and building some type of business or something. These phones, right? These phones have access to everything that, as a kid, for me, I'm 31 now. I'll be 31 tomorrow, actually. Wow. Anyways, I'll be 31 tomorrow. And whenever I was 16 and 15, I didn't have anything remotely close to this. Barely internet came out. Barely. Like, that was dial-up, AOL. So, I didn't have much. So I had to think, like, what can I see? And at the time was mowing lawns. You can make a really cool living out of that, just mowing lawns alone. But, as I got older, I saw the power of what a phone will do for you. And that's really, really good. And it's very, very compelling and very powerful as well. So just want to make sure you guys understand that phones are your best friend. They don't just take very great pictures, but they can also make you a lot of money too. So that's basically how that goes. Now, moving forward on to the next person. Oh man, my dog, you guys, Esau, is a big baby. For real, he's a literal big baby. He wants to be loved, and I'm trying to work. Can't work because he's crying in the background. It's very annoying. See, he's not crying anymore.
Alright, you guys, so in this side of things is that at this point, really, whether it's selling life insurance, whether it's selling a retirement account, whether it is selling a private investment, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. Whenever you call out to someone, you have to be very clearly spoken. That's number one. Number two, you have to know your stuff 100%. The worst thing you could do is call someone and not have all of your facts in order because you absolutely do not know what they know, which if you call them about something that they know, then there's a good chance that your call has already failed, because if they know more than what you know, or if you can't really think very quickly on your feet about how to rule the conversation and make it go into your favor, then that's going to be another thing that you really want to make sure that you understand whatever product it is that you're trying to sell X person in general. Now, what I do is one of the most highest paid professions literally in the world, and it's very easy for someone to mess that up. But it's also very easy for someone to make an extremely large sum of money, which I've been able to do. And I've been able to teach others exactly my ways of how I've been taught and how I have taken my capabilities to new heights as well. So some of that stuff, like I said, is going to be clearly spoken, is going to know your product, know exactly what your product stands for, because there's a lot of guys out there that are know-it-alls that actually don't know what it is that you're selling. Number three is being able to think very quick on your feet. So if there's a rebuttal, allow that person to finish their rebuttal so they can feel as though they are being heard. But then you go ahead and tell them, whatever your side of the situation is. If it was an objection that they have, then you go upon and say something in that regard of whatever you're going to say towards their objection, if you will. So these are some of the things that I've been able to teach others, and a lot of people have not been able to really grasp that in general. But if you can take these little rules and apply it to your own self, it doesn't matter what you're selling, phones, whatever, it will work pretty much for every product that you can ever ask for.
All right, so right now, what I am doing is getting with some of my connections on LinkedIn, right? So a lot of things that you guys probably don't do is use LinkedIn to your advantage. Now, one very big thing about LinkedIn is basically LinkedIn is a good network for connecting with different people that are business to business. Now, it's very imperative that if you do use LinkedIn, that you are very understanding, and people are also understanding about you, that what you're doing. So for me, I am all over LinkedIn as a life insurance broker and advanced financial planner. So for me, I get a lot of messages every day from people trying to sell me stuff. Now, I don't like that. I personally get turned off by it, but that's kind of the world that we live in, and that's what LinkedIn is kind of all about. But the fact of it stands is that I use the connections that I gain on LinkedIn, and for any of you that are on LinkedIn watching this video, it's very imperative that you understand how I work, at least, because I hire writers, content writers from LinkedIn. I love hiring content writers from LinkedIn personally because I can't write for shit. That's just kind of how it goes. And with the people here, they have experience. Like, you can use Fiverr.com to get some of your work done, but you don't really know who the people are overall. At least these people, you can look at them, you can look at the groups that they follow, you can see their stuff in general, and you can actually have communication with them. Now, for me, that's very, very, very compelling to me as a boss, as someone that's needing to hire these guys, give them work to do so I can in turn make money for my business. So that's what I'm doing right now. So just wanted to inform you guys a little bit.
I know this may happen a lot to you guys, of being able to hire someone for different types of odd work or odd jobs, and they're wanting the moon and back and everything around it, if you will. I know for me, I hate that, and I know everyone else hates that as well, which, for me, going on LinkedIn and finding a lot of this different creative help has helped me out a lot and my business out a lot, because, I don't I'm not a great writer as it stands. I'm a great talker and I'm a great executioner. Like I execute everything I say. That's just whole true. But on the writing side and the more little minute tedious work, I personally don't like to do that a whole bunch at all. I like to work on the bigger picture, the one that's going to bring money in, everything of that nature, the big part that's going to get people paid. That's what I would rather focus on rather than do the little minute stuff here and there. But in regards to what I was saying earlier, which was about the phone sales and about being very clearly spoken. If you don't know what it is, if you don't know about your product and whatever it is that you're selling, people, no matter who it is, anyone is going to call you out. I have been told everything in the book that is of the rudest comment that you could ever ask for, but those people that have done that have also been the biggest whales in the world too for me whenever you're closing $500,000 transaction or a multi-million-dollar transaction. They just want to make sure that the person that they're talking with is actually astute enough to be able to carry on this type of transaction out. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and I really hope that you guys are taking something away from this a bit.